It is Wrestling Uncensored time tonight on the show. WWE Elimination Chamber Qualifiers. Who's going to the chamber? Who's going to win? Who's going to WrestleMania? What's happening? It's wrestling time. Wrestling time. Wrestling time. Johnny, it's time to talk about wrestling, as we do. How are you?
I'm bad. Just waiting for this little cliffhanger that we got left on here on SmackDown, as we had Charlotte, Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, and I believe Alexa Bliss was coming to the ring. We went to commercial, so we're waiting. What's going to happen with that?
I think nothing. Doesn't Alexa Bliss have a match with Candice LeRae? I think we're just going to come back and that match is going to be happening.
You're probably right. I was hoping for some sort of promo or something, but I think it'll probably just be like you said. I didn't realize she had like a signature jacket. Apparently, they said she has a signature jacket, Alexa Bliss. That's not something I think about with Alexa Bliss, but apparently she's like Brett now, I guess.
Okay. Alexa Bliss is about to wrestle Candice LeRae in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. They are qualifying.
I wonder who's going to win.
Pardon?
I really wonder who's going to win that one.
Probably the Blister.
That's the problem with these qualifiers. Like, it kind of makes sense that John Cena just qualified because, like, I mean, clearly he was going to qualify whoever he faces. Like, all the matches so far, it's very obvious who's going to win.
Pretty much. I mean, we had the Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Jimmy Uso qualifier tonight, a triple threat. Drew McIntyre wound up winning. I wasn't sure.
The only thing that surprised me there was that Drew pinned LA Knight, not Jimmy. That was very surprising and kind of telling almost. Like, wow, they're really trying to like hide Jimmy to make sure he doesn't get pinned right there, and they'll sacrifice LA Knight instead. So that was surprising. But I had Drew all the time with that one, like easily in the chamber.
I mean, he was a favorite for sure, especially when they announce him as a qualifier. It's like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, Alexa hasn't been in the ring in a long time. You can kind of tell.
Yeah, watching Alexa Bliss wrestle Candice LeRae. I wonder who's going to win this one. I think, it seems pretty clear. We have some people that have qualified for these matches already. As you mentioned, Johnny, John Cena at the Rumble press conference after the Rumble when he didn't win, he just announced, like, well, I've been with the company for a long time, so I think they owe me one. I'm in the chamber. I don't have to qualify. I'm just in the match. And,
well, you know the real reason why is because he's filming a movie right now until Elimination Chamber, so he's not available until Chamber. So that's the main reason.
Yeah. But also, how many matches is he really going to do? And like you said, if you put him in a qualifying match, it's kind of like, really? He's not going to win this? So.
That too, yeah.
Yeah. He didn't need to have a qualifying match, CM Punk wrestled Sami Zayn in the main event of Raw. Decent match. Interesting match. And Punk beat Sami, and he qualified for the men's Elimination Chamber match.
Oh, you got to see it. Your Netflix didn't get all glitchy. Like that's good for you, but I was watching it and Netflix was like glitching out like crazy when I watched it. So I barely saw that match, sadly.
Well, I watched it, I guess, a day later. I didn't watch it live.
They probably fixed it then. Yeah, but live, like, it was horrendous trying to watch. I pretty much gave up because it just kept glitching all the time.
Oh. I had no problem. I heard there were glitches, and I was waiting for my stream to glitch out, but it didn't. It was all fine.
It was clearly just the live stream, I guess.
Yeah.
It felt like it's like the Wyatts are going to interfere or something. The way it was like glitching out so much, but no, it was just they had problems with it. The stream, I guess. It's too bad. Live, I guess it's harder. You can tell too when it's live. Like the cuts are kind of weird. Like sometimes they'll cut like seamlessly. Sometimes they'll go to black. They still haven't worked out all the kinks yet, clearly.
Mm-hmm. It's weird commercial breaks they take, those phantom breaks.
Yes.
I don't know why they do those phantom commercial breaks. Like, we'll be right, and when we come back, and then they're back right away. It's like, what's going to happen when we come back? We come back, they're in the exact same position because we haven't gone anywhere. Why did you say when we come back? And then they like reset. They're like, and we're here. We're on Raw. It's Netflix, and here's the match we're having. It's like, yeah, we know. We were watching a second ago. And if we weren't watching, we can rewind. It's Netflix. It's really weird how they do it. I don't really understand. They must be on TV somewhere, like regular TV, so they're doing it with breaks for that market, I guess. I don't know.
Well, for SmackDown, definitely.
No, but I know for SmackDown they're on TV in the States, but why do they do it for Raw?
I think for Raw, I think it's because in the States they still have the commercials for their Netflix, though, I think. So unless you buy the premium package, that you're going to have to not see that stuff that we see.
No, but I don't have the premium package.
No, but we're international, though. It's different, though, I think. In the U.S., it's different, apparently. So.
More commercials?
Well, yeah, they've already apparently paid for that. And apparently we're going to get commercials eventually. They just haven't figured that out yet. But apparently we will get more commercials.
During Raw?
During the breaks, yeah.
They're
working on it.
Yeah, right now where it's like no commercials, basically. They take these weird breaks where they don't go anywhere.
But you get the whole back in 2 minutes and 30 seconds thing, which is nice.
Yeah, but that's because they're on the USA Network.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to get a countdown. I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's weird. Alexa Bliss and Candice LeRae are wrestling right now. Okay. CM Punk qualified. He beat Sami Zayn. I was a little surprised they gave that match away on Raw. Just Punk wrestling, main event, Sami Zayn. It's a big match. Punk doesn't wrestle on Raw very often. That was pretty cool.
What's even crazier is that match has never happened before ever, apparently, was what they said. So
yeah,
the fact that they just gave that away on television, yes, it's even more surprising. But I mean, I guess they had a reason. We saw at the end they had a good reason for it, so I get it.
Yeah, but I was pretty happy with that. You know, as far as booking that on Raw, I was like, damn, Punk and Sammy is the main event. That's crazy.
I wish I could enjoy it. I wish I would have been able to enjoy it, but
yeah, it's too bad, eh? That sucks for you. I'm sorry, John, and for a lot of people, it sucks for WWE having booked that excellent match. You know, the match was, it was pretty good. It was just interesting, that given the history and everything, to see them just wrestling on Raw. Interesting to see Punk wrestle again on Raw after having wrestled on the Netflix debut. Back at it. Maybe he'll wrestle on Raw kind of, once a month maybe.
Is it me, or does, like, in every match now, everyone has to sit on their opponent, like, backwards? You notice that pin happens in every match? Even Carmelo did in his match. Not just the women's matches. Everyone does a sit. I just want to throw out that commentary as we watch these matches here on SmackDown, but everyone does that now. All the time.
I don't know. Who's this ref?
That's a great question, too. Yeah, it's a good eye. Like, it's a different kind of ref.
I've never seen this guy before.
I don't even know his name.
Looks like a child. Looks very young.
He might be like late 20s, but he looks like he's early 20s.
He looks early 20s.
Yeah.
He looks really young, this guy. Young for a ref.
Oh, we're going to get to a finish soon, I think. We're back on TV, so.
So, John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre have all qualified for the Elimination Chamber. 3 more people will qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Rey Mysterio will wrestle Logan Paul on Monday night, and the winner will qualify for the Elimination Chamber. I wonder who win that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think Logan might just squeeze that one out, possibly.
I don't know, John. I think this might be Rey's year to go all the way. Rey's going to WrestleMania to face Cody, and he's going to beat him. Didn't he beat him at WrestleMania before?
And beat him for the U.S. title
Yes.
as well, yes. Ray can't beat him. It's the way it is.
That's it. Wait, Cody beat Ray?
No, Logan beat Ray at WrestleMania and beat him for the U.S. title in Saudi Arabia.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, didn't Ray wrestle Cody at WrestleMania before and beat him?
Oh, damn, you're right. That was a different Cody. You know?
I know, but he did.
Yeah, he did. It's true.
I'm saying, bring it back, baby. They should bring that up at least.
The Big Show beat Cody too. Like, Cody doesn't exactly have the greatest WrestleMania. Randy beat Cody at WrestleMania. Like,
I think Ray might have been Cody's first Mania. Possibly.
I want to say it was Randy, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. But, yeah. There you go. Johnny, it's Ray's year. He's going to beat Logan Paul, okay? And then he's going to win the Elimination Chamber. And then Rey Mysterio is going to go on to face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. And he's going to beat him because he's got Cody's number at WrestleMania. He's done it before. He can do it again.
He should talk about that. He won't talk about it, but he should actually talk about it. It actually would add something to it. But yeah, Ray's not winning. Ray's not going to win. We also have another qualifier, I think, next week, right? On SmackDown, I think another three-way, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Damian Priest, right, is involved?
Damian Priest, Braun Strowman, and Jacob the Fatu.
There you go.
Yes. I wonder who'll win that.
Well, you would think Jacob would win, right?
Yes.
In terms of star power. However,
they're pushing Jacob like crazy, man.
Do you want him eating a pin, though, in the chamber? Because he would have to.
That's what. Yeah, it might be Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's one where it's like, well, I could actually Priest winning that one.
Imagine if it's Braun.
I mean,
it's
not impossible. That's probably the most intriguing match, I think, of all the possible chamber matches.
Alexa Bliss just qualified. She's going to the chamber.
Did she hit Sister Abigail, I think, if I'm not mistaken?
I think so.
Well, that's nice.
She'll get more over doing a Bray Wyatt tribute act than the Wyatt Six.
I mean, put her with the Wyatt Six. She does a variation of Sister Abigail, I think. Yeah.
They should put her with the Wyatt Six.
Makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. So men's chamber I want to focus on for a second here before we go to the women's chamber. I want to talk about Liv Morgan qualifying in the worst way on Raw.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Horrible. But Cena, Punk, Drew have qualified. Okay. Logan Paul is going to be in this match too.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins is going to wrestle Finn Balor in a qualifier, maybe on Raw Monday, and Seth will win, and then he'll be in the match.
Yep.
So, is that everybody?
Pretty much, I think. I don't think there's any other spots.
2, 3. Yeah, 3 more spots. So, Roman Reigns isn't in this thing?
No, they say Roman's out indefinitely. I don't think we'll see Roman wrestle until Mania, I think.
Because Roman got curb stomped by Seth on the stairs.
And they edited out the whole Punk taking down Rollins at the end, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yes, which further proves our point that wasn't supposed to happen. And Seth went into business for himself in a physical way, and Punk shut it down in a real way, which was totally sick. Like, that was awesome. I can't believe Seth did that, and the way Punk handled him so easily was hilarious. Like, man, they didn't show that. It wasn't supposed to happen. They cut it out of the replay of the whole brawl.
It was the best part of the brawl, too, I thought, as well. It's too bad, but we'll see what... I mean, if they're doing that three-way, they really should have kept that in there, but oh well.
When is CM Punk going to go off on Seth Rollins? Give that man some muffins and let him talk about Seth. That empty-headed dumb fuck Seth Rollins. No? It's not going to happen? I'm waiting. Triple H sitting right next to him? Huh? They're going to do that? No, they're not going to do that.
Oh, what's your thought on this new Tough Enough they have now going on?
Looks cool. Undertaker's on it?
Well, that's it. Taker's there.
LFG,
So it's like, well,
Undertaker's coaching. Undertaker, Bubba Ray Dudley, and Shawn Michaels seem to be involved.
yeah, and there's someone else too. I want to say like a women's wrestler. Mickey James, I think?
Yeah, I saw Mickey James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might
Taker
actually
seemed
know.
to be doing all the talking.
I might know some of the guys involved, so I'm going to wait and see. If I know some of the people involved, I'll actually watch it then.
Yeah. Might check it out. So who wins the Chamber, and what is it for? I think Jey Uso is going to challenge Gunther. Like, he's not challenging Cody.
Yeah, that's, I think,
Right.
a safe bet on that one.
Yeah.
So who would challenge Cody? I mean, it has to be Cena, no? I mean, that's,
Yeah.
to me, that's
think so.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah. But then I get Roman versus Seth and Punk in a triple threat.
I feel Seth, he brought up a good point. I don't know if you saw like an interview he did where it's like him against Cody at WrestleMania makes a lot of sense given the history and all that.
Yeah.
I get it. Like I don't really want to see it, but it does make sense in terms of their history and story and all that. Like, yeah, I get it. I could see that happening.
So Seth?
I'm saying it's not impossible. Like, out of all the possibilities,
No,
I think Seth. I mean, Cena for sure.
Seth and Roman has to happen now.
Well, then I guess Seth will win. Well, here's another thing too.
You
right?
just said Roman's not going to wrestle till Mania.
But that's it. Maybe.
And
he'll
if he
get
doesn't
involved.
wrestle till Mania, who does he wrestle? The guy who injured him until Mania, Seth freaking Rollins.
Well, this is why he's not the favorite to win, Seth.
No, it's
Like,
got to
well-
be Cena. Cena and Cody. It's got to be.
Well, sadly, the only one. Because I would, to me, the choice I would go with would be Punk. Punk against Cody, I think that'd be a fantastic main event. But I don't think that's where they're going, sadly.
Cena makes a lot of sense. They're going with Cena.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the thing they're pushing the most, too, so I get it.
Yeah. And I guess Punk is going to have to find his way into a Roman-Seth match.
Yeah, it's kind of crummy.
Like, what else does he do?
That's tough. Like,
Does he wrestle
Not really
Logan Paul?
I guess. I mean, it's nothing great.
He can lose to Logan Paul in a buy one, get two free. Night one, co-main event, third from headlining against Logan Paul and Ice Show Speeds.
I think the three-way is more likely for Punk.
He hopes. That's got to be the favor he pulls for Paul Heyman. Hey, Paul, help me get a match that isn't Logan Paul. Paul Heyman, please help me. I need a favor. I need to wrestle your boy Roman and Seth. I know they have like a long history and it really doesn't involve me. And this is a big one-on-one match for them. But like, I've got nothing and I need something because I'm sad. If I don't wrestle these guys, I'm going to have to wrestle Logan Paul. And I can't lose to Logan Paul. So please, Paul Heyman. How sad.
I'm starting to wonder who is Logan going to wrestle now at WrestleMania if all these guys are already taken.
Maybe Logan wins Chamber. Logan Cody, baby.
Oof. I mean, in terms of heat, I mean, he might be the top heel in the company, to be fair. He's so hated.
He is
Kinda does.
hated. Even I kind of hate him. And I get it. I just like, he's like annoying. He's detestable.
He's a very hateable person. Like, not just on television. He's very just hateable.
Yeah, in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like just bad. I don't like him. I don't like him or his brother. I don't like them.
Well, you said last night you thought him and Canelo, but that's not happening now, right? Apparently.
No, it's been changed. The guy in Saudi Arabia was like, no, I'm going to give Canelo way more money to fight real boxers. And Canelo's like, okay, that's good. I was only going to fight Jake Paul because I needed a fight and I needed, somebody to pay me, and this is going to happen. So, like, Canelo was going to take the money, but then this other guy in Saudi Arabia was like, yo, I'm going to give you more money to fight some real guys. He's like, okay, done. Came in last minute because that Jake Paul thing was almost a done deal. And that guy in Saudi Arabia who's making all the fights and spending, like, all the money, and I mean all of the money. Like, all the money. More money than it's making, but who cares? I guess it's all publicity, propaganda, publicity, whatever you want to call it.
Well, it's one less Jake Paul fight that you have to watch now. That's good.
I guess. It would have been funny to see him fight Canelo. Because, like, if he loses to Canelo, funny, because, yeah, of course he should. But if he somehow, like, hangs in there or, like, beats Canelo, so funny. So funny. That would have been hilarious. Because, like, whatever, I don't care about Canelo. It's funny. He's bigger than him, Who knows? Anything can happen.
I'm surprised you're not in a better mood. I mean, Pretty Deadly beat the tag team champions. You should be very happy right now.
I am happy. My son and I celebrated. They beat DIY tonight. Pretty Deadly. They never win. And they beat the tag team champions in a non-title match, but still it was a match where if they won, they get a tag title shot. So now they're getting a tag title shot. How about that? Pretty Deadly. They're moving up, and there was even a Pretty Deadly chant during the match. John, they're getting over.
Very, like,
it existed. It happened. It happened.
You're trying.
Yes,
there.
Boy. We were so happy when they won, man. We couldn't believe it.
You and the Crickets were very happy, it sounded like, but yes.
Oh, please.
That's good.
Please. Celebrating in my living room. Going nuts. My son was going bananas. Loving it. Loving it, man. Pretty Deadly. They finally won. Like, we couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. They won a match. They never win. First of all, until SmackDown moved to 3 hours, they were barely ever on the show, let alone getting matches. Then SmackDown moved to 3 hours. They need to fill some time. Pretty Deadly get the call to start wrestling matches. They never win. Then all of a sudden, they're wrestling the tag champs. If they beat them, they get a tag title shot, and they win? Unbelievable. What a story. I think they're going to get a tag title shot, and they'll lose, but still. It's just the first shot. They'll be back. This is the trajectory. They're going to be the tag team champions. The Yes Boy movement will take over. You've heard of the Yes movement. Get ready for the Yes Boy movement. Even bigger, even better. It's going to be great.
I think it would help them very much so if they could just, like, solidify the fact that they are baby faces. I felt like the crowd didn't really know if they were faces or heels the way when they came out. So that hurts them a lot.
Yeah, it's got to be more obvious. Yeah. Because the gimmick, people want to boo it, I think. Naturally, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know who was the faces or heels too when the match first started as well.
Well, DIY or heels.
Yeah, but, like, I honestly thought it would just be two heel teams and a face team would eventually come out, though. That's why I thought we were going with this, but it just ended up being a tag match like that. And good for them. They won. They beat the tag team champions. Again, I don't think they're going to win, but if they could build off this, don't get that title shot right away. Build off of it and maybe face another team. That could help them a lot. But if they immediately get that title shot, I think that's going to hurt them more than help them.
Jason Pete, hashtag yes, boy. Chris Dopsy, hashtag yes, boy. The chat is going wild. Yes, boy. It's time to take off our shirts, John. Let's go.
Well, that's not happening.
Take your shirt off, John. It's yes, boy time. Woo. Shout out to Jason Pete, member of the team. Angelo Contagonis, Leor, CSL Lorne. I see you guys. What's up, Leor? He says 3-hour Raw SmackDown have been tough to sit through. When do the shows get good? I think at this time last year we had the final boss. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You know, even Raw and SmackDown have been long as hell and not great. And we're in WrestleMania season. The Rumble happened. Was Raw great this week? I mean, the main event was pretty cool, but everything else was like, eh. And for you, it glitched out, so, you know?
Yeah. I think it was only 2 hours and a half, no, Raw? It wasn't 3 hours this week. I don't believe it was.
No, it was like 2.5.
So, you know, Raw doesn't feel so bad when it's not 3 hours. It's really when you get that extra little bit, it's like, oof. Especially when those matches kind of drag a little bit. I feel no matches really dragged this week on Raw, which was nice. Like you said, nothing really spectacular on Raw this week, but nothing where I was like, oof, it's rough. Though I think you'll get to it a little bit later on. I'm sure there's some stuff. But I also saw a comment. There's a bunch of releases. I knew about a couple, but I didn't know there were so many. Like, wow, a lot of releases today.
Who got released?
You didn't see, apparently, again, I don't know if it's confirmed, but I just saw the comment.
Authors of Pain
got released. Yeah.
Huh.
That's too bad for Paul Ellering, too.
Sonya Deville. What?
Yeah. Wow, she's been there for so long.
What about the Pure Fusion Collective, man? What are we going to do about the collective of Fusion? It's no longer pure. It's no longer pure, John.
It's just a fusion. That's it.
It's just a Fusion Collective. Is it even a collective anymore? It's just two people. It's just Fusion.
Yeah, that's it.
Lonely Fusion. Their new name is Lonely Fusion.
No, your buddy Sean Ross confirmed it, so it must be true then.
Oh, boy. SRS is saying it. You know it's true. That guy's got all the dirts. He's got the sheets covered. Sheets on lock. Like a mattress salesman or something. I don't know. He's got a lot of sheets, dirt sheets. But they're really filthy. The filthiest of the dirt sheets. I don't know what I'm saying. Sonya Deville, man. Imagine that. Wasn't she in the Rumble? Wasn't the Pure Fusion Collective like a thing in the Rumble?
They had a moment, didn't they, where they were kind of like standing in charge of everything?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, they had that a little bit.
Why would they give them that and then release Sonya Deville days later? Why would they give them like a spot in the Rumble where they're like beating people up and it's like, oh, the Pure Fusion Collective is together in the ring. What a force. And then days later, they're like, oh, yeah, you know that group that we had? We're just going to fire one of them. What? That was weird.
Well, I have seen complaints, like online, people are complaining that she hasn't really improved. Like, she was gone for a while. She got injured, right?
Yeah. She's never been good.
Well, the thing is, like, all about being good, but the problem is getting better. There's been no sign of improvements. If anything, regressing. So I think that's kind of hurt a little bit. She's been always decent at promos, but I think it's the in-ring work where And then there were some injuries too that would happen, or near injuries that would happen. So I don't know if maybe that played a factor in it, possibly.
Crazy.
Well, we got Mr. Main Event Jey Uso in the ring right now, and he's doing his whole yeeting thing.
A lot of yeeting. So Cedric Alexander got released. The Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering got released, and Sonya Deville got released, all by the WWE today. Interesting.
The WWE hasn't officially given them their future endeavors. There's no usually they put out a release about who they release.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore. It was a Vince era thing.
No, they don't care. It's too bad.
They just quietly release you and people find out other ways. Jey Uso and what is the main event here? Jey Uso and Cody against Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga?
Yeah.
Cool. Why would Jey Uso challenge Cody at WrestleMania? Even teasing that is just weird. Why would you do it? You're friends. If you had the choice to fight for a championship against a guy that you fought before and you couldn't beat, but you really hate him because he says really mean things to you, or your friend, who would you choose? Because if you choose your friend, you're kind of a dick. And Jey Uso's not a dick. He's a babyface. So he's got to choose Gunther. It's nuts to even be pretending at this point that he might choose Cody. He's about to team up with Cody on SmackDown. It's stupid. At least with Charlotte, you go, well, it could go either way. She kind of hates everybody.
I feel it's kind of like what I said on Saturday. It's yeah, you're right about that's his friend. Why would you go against your friend like that? But Cody does have the main championship in WWE, the WWE Championship. You won the Rumble. You should go for the main championship. Because when are you going to get that shot again at WrestleMania? I get that part.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to say that,
They can't really say it, or they won't say it.
No, they can't say, oh, I won the Rumble, and I want to face the real champion, Cody, not Gunther. It's but... What?
The undisputed WWE champion.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways. So they're going to wrestle here in the main event. The Women's Elimination Chamber, we had Bianca Belair qualifying tonight. She beat somebody.
Piper Niven.
Piper the Niven. Yep. Roddy Piper Niven. Bianca beat her tonight, and Alexa Bliss qualified, beating Candice LeRae, and Liv Morgan qualified when she beat Io Sky by disqualification on Raw, because Rhea Ripley came out and got so mad at Liv Morgan that she punched her in the face right in front of the ref, which caused a disqualification and had Liv win and send her to the Elimination Chamber. And Rhea was like, oh no. And Io Sky was like, what? What's your problem? She walked away.
It's a little bit more than that, though, because Raquel was interfering in the match. So then that's when Rhea came out to take out Raquel. And then Liv grabbed Rhea by the hair. And then Rhea, because she's grabbing her hair, that's when she punched her to get her off of her hair. But the ref saw that. So,
yeah. End result, though, Rhea punched Liv in front of the ref.
Yep.
Causing the DQ, which sends Liv to the chamber. To be sent to such an important match where you win, you get a title shot at WrestleMania. It's bad. It's a bad finish. It's lazy booking. It's not good.
As a heel, though, kind of like it, to be honest. I don't mind that. And it sucks for Io Sky because I thought Io definitely could have won that chamber, and I wouldn't have minded her winning the chamber. So that's kind of too bad. I actually would have liked to seen that match, her against Rhea at WrestleMania. And now that's not going to happen. Unless possibly they do a whole, like, all the losers face each other in another qualifier. That could happen. And I wouldn't mind Io winning that. But, yeah, that'd be too bad. Oh, there's more releases? Wow. This just keeps...
Oh, not Blair Davenport.
I mean, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Like,
Yeah.
She kind of disappeared for a long period of time now. Was she even in? Was she in the Rumble even?
No.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shotzi gets released, because wasn't she supposed to be in the Rumble, but they didn't put her in the Rumble because someone else took her spot, and she was just sitting there instead.
Wow.
That's kind of rough.
That is rough. That's very rough. Give me a yes, boy.
Well, you're not getting a yes boy from me. Like,
Hit me
too
with
bad,
a
like,
yes, boy.
They haven't earned it yet.
Yes,
like,
boy!
Give me another one. Wait. I'll do it.
Yes, boy!
bad day.
Ooh, they never should have given me a yes, boy button.
Yes, boy!
Sad day.
Ooh.
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy. We are so pretty. We're pretty deadly.
Yes, boy!
Tremendous. What a night for Pretty Deadly. It's all about Pretty Deadly tonight. They won. They beat the tag team champions, brother. Eric saying the blister. Alexa Bliss took what's her name spot? Shotzi Blackheart. Hey, why are they booing Charlotte? Charlotte comes out, starts cutting like a babyface promo. Everybody's like, boo. I was like, what? What is this? Why aren't we standing on our feet and loving the queen? And then she came out tonight and she cut like a heel promo. They adjusted. Tiffy Time cut a promo with Charlotte tonight.
She got a mixed reaction, though.
Yeah. Not all the way boos for Charlotte, but a lot of boos. And the promo there was kind of like, give me boos because I'm healing out. But on Raw, it was kind of like, let's throw Charlotte out there and have her talk about coming back from an injury after being away for like almost a year. And, it was like a heartfelt promo and they start booing her.
Yep.
What the hell was that? And a lot of people are mad that Charlotte won the Rumble.
I wasn't mad.
I think that's what it is. Like, people are mad that Charlotte won the Rumble, and they're booing her because they're mad. But it's like, it's Charlotte Flair. She's the greatest of all time. She's still doing it at a top level in her prime. Why wouldn't she win the Royal Rumble? Why wouldn't she become the first ever two-time winner of the Royal Rumble for women? I mean, why wouldn't she? Who else did you think was going to win the Royal Rumble? Like, who? Did you think Piper Niven was going to win the Royal Rumble? Did you think Chelsea Green was going to win the Royal Rumble? Who did people want to see beat or win the Rumble instead of Charlotte this year? Bianca again? Why? Like, I don't know who else people expected or wanted that would have made any kind of sense. And I saw some people saying, I saw one Mark going like, oh, well, Charlotte, oh, she wins everything, and we're tired of Charlotte winning everything. And I'm like, well, say that about Roman Reigns. Say that about Cody Rhodes. Say that about Hulk Hogan in his prime. Say that about John Cena in his prime. Or Stone Cold. Oh, we're tired. Stone Cold wins the WWF title all the time. Why is he always winning? He stuns McMahon every week. Why does he win all the time? Because he's the number one guy. Because he's the best. He wins all the time because he's on top. He's the best. Charlotte wins all the time because she's the best. When you are the best performer, they give you a lot of wins, and you tend to, be on top. What do you want her to lose all the time? Then she would be a jabroni, and she wouldn't be a main eventer. She wouldn't be a top level star for the company if she lost all the time. She has to win all the time. It's part of her gimmick. Like, what? I don't understand people being mad that Charlotte won something. It's Charlotte's era. You're just living in it. Appreciate it or get out of the way. All hail the queen. She's magnificent. She's an unbelievable talent. Great wrestler. Great wrestler. Greatest women's wrestler of all time. And that says a lot because there have been many, and she stands above all of them. So anybody booing her or thinking she wins too much needs to fall back. All hail the queen. I don't have time for any Charlotte Flair hate. Gotta appreciate greatness while it's there. All these people booing Charlotte Flair. When she retires, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we love you." Fucking fickle. It's the same people booing the New Day.
It's a little bit different with that.
Is it though? Like, here's the thing about the New Day, okay? Big E wanted to do that. They needed to do that. Like, in real life, like that was all planned. This is all planned. I love them no matter what they're doing because they're awesome and they're great at whatever they do. They're doing a great gimmick right now. I wouldn't boo them. I might boo them with a smile on my face like, "Oh, you guys, boo your dicks." But really, I'd be cheering them because they're awesome. Fickle. But Charlotte Flair, like, come on. She comes back. She hasn't been a heel. Usually when you come back from a long injury, the fans, like, cheer for you. She comes back from a long injury, wins the Rumble, and then she gets booed in her promo. It was weird. Nashville, Tennessee. Not happy. Was it Nashville? No, sorry. It's Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland. What's their problem?
Well, there's a couple of things with this. We've talked about this before. Like, it happens a lot with, like, women wrestlers. There's a certain fan base that they have, very strong, passionate fan base that each women's wrestler has. So when something bad happens to one of their favorites, they get mad about it. Or if one of their rivals does very well, then they get mad about it, right? And Charlotte has a lot of rivals, right? So that's a huge thing. Like, I think the whole history of her and Becky. How that's
Becky wasn't in the match.
She wasn't in the match, but I believe because of all that past history and hatred that built up for Charlotte, a lot of people still hate Charlotte for that, what happened there, and that she will always be a heel to that fan base. And the fact that she has the record now. Becky had that whole, she was Asuka had it, then Becky won it. Then Charlotte, they were all tied up, right? Like, I think it was 1, 2, 3 like that. And now Charlotte stands alone like that. So again, like, those two fan bases now hate Charlotte even more. So there's a lot more hatred, I feel, for Charlotte because there's a lot more resentment from all those other fan base. And the fact that, think about all the women wrestlers that wrestled the past year and the whole year build up to this just for Charlotte in one match to take it all away from them. It makes sense. I get it why people are mad.
But, like, you know, who do they want to see at WrestleMania? Liv Morgan against Tiffy Time or Liv Morgan against Rhea Ripley again? Or, like, what are your options? Like, I get it, but, like, come on. She's the best option by far.
I agree, and I have no problem with the decision. I think it made a lot of sense, and I'm actually looking forward to Tiffany against Charlotte, or even if they do Charlotte versus Rhea. Like, that's the great part about it, is that it can go in so many different directions if they choose to do that. And with others, it's not as intriguing. So yeah, Charlotte was the best choice, without question. However, I feel because, and you talked about it too, how people have been gone a while. Alexa Bliss been gone a while. I think it would have been crazy if she would have won. I think people would have been very happy just because she's been gone for so long, and then she could finally come back and win something. I think people would be very happy about that. I think if she wins the Chamber, people would be very happy about that, I think.
Yep. I don't think she will.
But, I mean, against Rhea, right? And isn't Alexa now on SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
I'm expecting someone from Raw to win, I would think, no?
To win the Chamber?
I mean, Bianca can kind of work because Bianca can be on both shows because she's a tag champion, so it could work with her.
I don't know how that's all going to shake out.
Well, do we have all the participants for the women's chamber? Like how it's all shaken out too? Like we pretty much have the men's figured out.
So Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss qualified. Bayley against Lyra Valkyria is a match. That'll be a qualifier on Raw. Bayley will win. Chelsea Green's going to wrestle Naomi. Naomi will probably win. And then Roxanne Perez will wrestle Raquel Rodriguez, and Raquel will probably win. Right?
You know, I'm not sure about Bayley. I know you like Bayley, and you kind of should be Bayley, but Lyra, like, she won the Intercontinental Championship, right? So,
yeah.
And she hasn't really done anything. Like, in her first match, she's going to lose? I maybe you're right, but I question that decision.
I don't know. It's Bayley.
You're not wrong. Again, you're not wrong. Like, it could happen. Oh, Solo's back.
Solo!
And we faded black.
Cody and Jey Uso just beat Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Cody hit the crossroads on Tama Tonga, got the pin, and they won the main event of SmackDown. But then Solo Sikoa appeared. He's been gone for several weeks and attacked Cody from behind. Solo's back. That adds something.
No, not a bad ending. That was something. I wasn't expecting that. That was nice, actually.
How does Solo fit into everything?
Thanks us for joining and watching the show. That's nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Where does Solo fit in here at WrestleMania?
That's a great question. Yeah, how will that work out? I'm expecting some sort of tag match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Led by Jimmy, Big Jim.
Big Jim.
It's like Solo's group.
Yeah, I guess. So, who wins the women's chamber? And who do they... I think it's still kind of unclear because we're not sure if Charlotte's going to challenge Rhea or Tiffy. I'm not convinced either way. It seems like maybe Tiffy, but maybe not. Say it is Tiffy. I could see Bianca winning and challenging Rhea.
That's the best.
Bliss winning and challenging Rhea.
I don't know if that's a great match, though.
No.
Alexa versus Rhea. Like, and this is a problem, too. And this was a huge problem I don't know if we mentioned it or not on Saturday, but this was a huge problem with the men's Rumble. You had two baby faces in the end. Maybe we mentioned this, but that was the problem. Like, you need like a good guy and a bad guy. If it was Jey Uso versus Logan Paul, there'd be no problem about how Jey Uso won that match. People would be very happy that he eliminated Logan Paul, but the fact that he eliminated John Cena in the end, that was a problem. So that's going to hurt Rhea, I think, if she has to face Alexa, because then you have divided the audience. So I don't think that's a good idea, actually. And maybe I'm starting to question Bianca actually being in as well.
That too.
You divide the audience.
Big time.
So that's tough, actually. Like, when you think about it, like, who will Rhea face? I mean, if you think about it, maybe Charlotte does make sense for Rhea, because clearly she would be the heel in that one.
Yes. I think Rhea needs a heel, and Tiffy kind of cut a babyface promo tonight.
She did. It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it was good. So it's like, who would face? Say it is Charlotte and Rhea. Who takes on Tiffy?
Well, it's not going to be Nia now, right? Because Nia's getting. We thought maybe Nia that would kind of, because they haven't done that, but they're actually doing that next week. So that throws that out the window.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised by that. I thought maybe at least have that Elimination Chamber, but to give that away on television, very surprising, I thought.
It's weird. It's all weird. Yeah,
But
so I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure about the women's chamber. Men's chamber, I think it's going to be Cena, and then he'll win, and he'll face Cody. That's another thing. Like, it's weird to have qualifying matches for a chamber match where no one knows what you get when you win. Like, you get a title match at WrestleMania, but you have no idea who it's against because you're waiting on Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair to decide. Do they have a deadline? Like,
they
by Monday or next Friday, do they have to have made their decision? Because, like, it seems a little rude to the other superstars in the match, you know? Like, John Cena might call Jey Uso and be like, hey, man, I want to know who to prepare for, brother. You know, like, I don't know.
No, but I think we are, if not mistaken, that's usually what happens. We usually have an idea. They usually make a decision before, at least by the time we get to Chamber. So we should know what it should be for each title, I think. And I have a feeling it'd be something where, say, the World Heavyweight title is for the men's, so that means the WWE Women's title would, so like Raw, SmackDown, it would probably be something like that, right? The Raw will be the elimination one, SmackDown might be the women's.
Yeah.
You can see that happening too.
Kevin Owens.
Or vice versa.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Johnny. Looks like they're wrestling at WrestleMania, right? Kevin attacks Sami big time on Raw. He's blaming him for not helping when he was wrestling Cody. Sami was there. He didn't help him. He didn't stop Cody from nearly killing Kevin. He didn't do anything. And, also he's been helping Roman Reigns despite the fact that they battled against Roman in the Bloodline last year, the year before. Now all of a sudden he's back with Roman. He's friends with Roman. Kevin hates Roman. There's a lot of reasons why Kevin hates Sami Zayn, and he attacked him. He cut a promo from his car tonight talking about some of that stuff. And it looks like that match is going to happen. Kevin and Sami back at it.
Well, we thought this would probably happen at WrestleMania, and I think it makes a lot of sense. They've done this before at WrestleMania, yes, but Kevin was the babyface in that one. Sami was the heel, so now the roles are reversed. It's also funny, too, because I believe they've also done it where they were a heel tag team together at WrestleMania, lost that one, and they were a babyface tag team, won that one. So, I mean, it makes sense that they complete it where the roles are reversed again, and I think probably Sami wins this one, no? Because Kevin won the first one.
Yeah. give him a big win at WrestleMania. Sammy doesn't win a lot of big ones.
Well, Kevin's taken a lot of big losses lately, though, so that's where I kind of question myself on that one. But they've actually both eaten big losses, both of them recently, so it's give or take on that one.
I'm just not super interested in seeing that. They got to make it some sort of gimmick match, I think. I don't know. I think
Maybe.
it gets lost and everything else is going to happen at Mania.
I mean, if it's long and they give him time, I think it could be really good. Because if they're letting Kevin just do what he wants, like he hits a lot of his old Kevin Steen moves, which he's starting to do now, the package power driver. I mean, I think that could really get the crowd going, regardless of what else is also on WrestleMania. Plus, if that match is early, I think it would definitely be something people talk about afterwards.
I mean, I'm not saying they won't have a good match. I'm just saying interest-wise, card placement-wise, I don't think it'll be one of the featured matches. There's so much going on.
There is a lot going on. It's true.
All right. That pretty much covers WWE. They've got the Chamber coming up in 3 weeks?
Well, so I'm saying Charlotte versus Tiffany. So that means it would be for the Raw Women's title then, the Chamber, and Cody for the SmackDown Men's, and John Cena will win that one. So yeah.
So it'd be for the Raw Women's, yeah. I don't know. Rhea Ripley against Bianca Belair.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, really, when you think about it. But maybe they'll make Bianca like a heel with the whole Jade thing. I could see that.
Did Bianca attack Jade?
I don't think she did, but maybe she was the mastermind behind it, like Triple H was. It was Rikishi, but Triple H was behind it. Naomi, but it was Bianca behind it.
Okay. AEW Dynamite happened. Ricochet beat Swerve in the main event of Dynamite.
He did.
The Swervester.
I thought the match was quite fantastic. Easily I'm not counting the Rumble because that was last week.
Mm-hmm.
Like easily, I thought the match of the week was Swerve Ricochet. Like fantastic match, incredible. Like that was the highlight of Dynamite without question. The only problem was the finish. I thought the finish was kind of dumb because it was Swerve going with the stomp, and Ricochet kind of put his hands up like in defense. But in defense, by doing that, he low blowed Swerve, and the ref didn't call for a DQ or anything. And then Ricochet just took advantage of that. I'm like, well, that's kind of a dumb finish, but whatever. That's what they did. It didn't take away from that incredible power bomb they did standing on the barricade. That was insane. Like, if you haven't seen that moment in the match, you have to see that. It was incredible athleticism by both of them, and what a bump by Ricochet for taking that.
Richard O'Shea is fun in AEW.
Arguably, he might be better in AEW than he was in WWE in terms of his push right now.
Yo, yeah, big time. Big time.
Being Swerve, that's wow. Like I'm thinking they're pushing for the world title now. He's being Swerve.
I don't know about that.
I wouldn't put it past them.
They've got a big show next week, AEW. They've got their Grand Slam Australia. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay will take on Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Will Ospreay beat Mark Davis on Raw this week? There was a promo by Kenny Omega after the match. What?
He said it was on Raw. It was on Dynamite.
Dynamite, sorry. Yes, it was on Dynamite. AEW. Good to see Kenny. It was a fun promo from Kenny.
It was fun just because they played all that pyro at the end, and he had no idea what the hell was going on. And He's like, I wasn't expecting that. That was the fun part about that whole thing. I thought the match was pretty decent. Mark Davis and Ospreay, not a bad match. That jumping pile driver they did was pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ospreay's always good. Ospreay's great. The match in Australia next week's going to be very good. They opened off the show, though, with this terrible, like, promo thing with Jay White, and he's there talking to Renee about her husband and his evil goons. And then the evil goons, the husband and the evil goons show up, and then behind them is Edge and FTR, and then they all start fighting. And then Marina Shafir runs in and, like, grabs Renee and runs off. Like, what the hell was that?
To me, Renee's in on it, I think. I think Renee set up Jay White. That's the way that looked like to me. I don't think that's what it is, but to me, it looked like Renee set up Jay White, no?
I mean, you would think she would. Anyways, they brawl down to the ring eventually, and then the Death Riders all kind of run away, and then Cope, Edge, he challenges Moxley to a title match at Revolution, and Moxley says no. And then Jay White's like, okay, well, how about this? You wrestle me and Edge in a tag match with Claudio at Australia. And, like, then apparently Moxley said yes to that. That was weird. Edge going, Moxley, I challenge you to a match. And then Moxley going like, no. And then Jay White's like, okay, well, how about a different match? Me? I thought he was going to say, okay, Moxley, you didn't want to wrestle Edge for the world title. How about me and you for the world title? I'm not as good as Edge. Easier. You know, like, it was just weird the way he presented it. I didn't like any of that stuff. It was just the brawling and the everything, and the promo was weird. Where Edge is like, Moxley, wrestle me for the belt. Moxley's like, nah. Then Jay White's like, okay, how about this? You, Moxley, and Claudio against me and Edge in a tag match. Moxley's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. What the? It's just weird. Wasn't that weird?
A little bit, like, because we're getting that match, but I think it's just Moxley doesn't want to accept it right now. Like, it's going to happen. He just doesn't want to accept it right now. Just be hard on this. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jay said it's going to be like a no rules match, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Which made it even weirder because he's like, Moxley, you don't want to do that. Well, how about this challenge? Me and Edge against you and Claudio in a Brisbane street fight. And it's like, a what? Is this a match that you've conceived? Like, what do you mean? It was clearly something he was told to say, and he says it. It just sounded so weird. I didn't like it.
Well, for Moxley, because Moxley likes violence and all that kind of stuff, I get why he would pick a street fight over defending his title in a regular match. I mean, that kind of made sense, but I get the delivery was kind of awkward, the way it was all put together like that. And especially if it just came off that brawl that we just saw. Like, if anything, that promo should have been after all this stuff, maybe a little bit later in the show, but they wrapped it all into one, and it was awkward, like you said.
Yeah. MJF cut a promo.
Oh, I love this part. This was a good part.
Yeah, it was a good promo. What did you like about it? Dustin Rhodes coming out?
I like the fire Dustin had. Like, I believed in everything Dustin said, how angry he was at MJF.
Mm-hmm.
And I also liked MJF's comeback on him, too. Like,
yeah,
it felt like he felt a little offended because I think Dustin, like poked him a little bit, didn't he, if I'm mistaken?
Yeah, it was a good line. MJF telling Dustin, it took you 37 years to get out of the shadow of your father, and now how does it feel? You're in the shadow of your little brother. And Dustin got all mad. Which is true. I mean, for many years, Dustin Rhodes was the son of Dusty, and now Dustin Rhodes is the brother of Cody. For a short period of time there, he was just Goldust, baby.
he called him goalies too during the promo.
Yeah. That was, the peak years. Gold Dust. When he wasn't, just Dusty's kid. And he wasn't yet Cody's brother.
I saw that sparked controversy, that line online. I don't know if you saw that, but the fact that he mentioned like a WWE talent like MJF, but I think it's ridiculous, like you said, like, because again, Cody, it's a little bit different. He has history with both those guys, and like there is no AEW without Cody, so I don't feel mentioning him is like, oh, you can't stop mentioning WWE. It's kind of different.
Yeah. And, like, how about acknowledging that Cody's a massive star in pro wrestling right now? And he's not saying anything bad about Cody or positive about Cody. He's just acknowledging the fact that Cody's a huge star, and he's trying to cut a promo on Dustin, and he's like, oh, your brother's, your dad used to be the man, and you were nobody, and now your brother's the man, and you're still nobody, Like, he's just cutting a promo on Dustin. I don't see a problem in mentioning Cody. I think ignoring the fact that he's Cody's brother is dumb.
Well, and given the history both of them share with him, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I get it if like they had no interaction with him whatsoever, but no, the long history they've had with him in AEW, it makes a lot of sense.
I agree, Johnny.
But there are other parts of the show not so great. You missed the whole Muppet, I guess, part. I guess,
skipped
right?
over that. I saw Harley Cameron standing there with Sasha Banks with a puppet. I was like, bup. No, thank you.
You'll see it next week. Don't worry. They're going to run with this like crazy now.
Great. Keep it going forever. Johnny, I am going to be back tomorrow night for the UFC 312 watch-along. And
nice.
We will be talking about a lot of things, including UFC officially announcing tonight that they will be coming to Montreal May 10th, UFC 315 at the Bell Center. It's official. UFC announcing it a few hours ago. We were talking about it last night on Ringside Report MMA, some rumored fights, and a rumored date. And it's all been confirmed. The fight's not confirmed, but the date and location is confirmed. UFC coming back to Montreal, first time in 10 years. 10 years. It's kind of nuts.
Crazy.
So, yeah, that'll be cool. They'll be here. And we'll talk about it tomorrow night on the UFC 312 watch-along. Johnny, when's your next match? When can people see you?
Before we get to that, can we talk about my movie review that I watched this past week? You can pull that up, the whole music and nice little...
I suppose. I didn't know we were doing this.
I told you last week. Boom, back. By myself only. So I saw Hard Eyes. And not going to be Heart Eyes. As in having a heart like that. And it's for your eyes. So the guy had a mask on. And he had the heart for his eyes instead. So think like, you know Jason Voorhees, right? You know Friday the 13th.
Not
so
really.
think, well, you know of this person. Maybe you don't watch those movies, which you should. But
is he the guy with the hockey mask?
Yeah. So think hockey mask.
Does he have a chainsaw?
No, not. He's got like a big machete, pretty much, like a big knife.
Who's a Chainsaw Massacre?
That's it. The Chainsaw Massacre guy. Yeah, that's a different thing completely. It's not the same thing whatsoever.
Did he have a hockey mask?
I think he had a bag over his head, if I'm not mistaken. He had a bag with like little holes in it. Jason had the hockey mask. So
Did Jason wear overalls?
Yeah, Jason wore overalls, yeah.
Because one time I saw Eminem, and he came out and he was wearing overalls. He had a hockey mask, but he also had a chainsaw. And that's really all I know about that.
All right. But you know the look then. So think that, but he's got the little heart for the eyes instead.
Okay.
and very gory, kills a lot of people. Interesting that the men, they die pretty instantly, like shot to the back of the head, they die very quickly. The women, oh man, does he like torture the women very violently, kills them, squishes their whole body into like pieces. Very disgusting. So the movie revolves around a couple. You remember Cuba Gooding Jr., right?
Of course, show me the money.
So his son, Mason Gooden, he's in this movie. He's the one of the stars of it. He plays Jay with the woman that he's after, Olivia Holt. I think her name's Allie in the movie. Anyways, they were like a couple, but they're not really a couple. They like each other, but they act like they don't really like each other. And they're being chased by the Hard Eyes guy. And while the guy's chasing him, he's killing people in his path, destroying everyone, going throughout the whole city. And, you know, it's gory, it's crazy, but it's also a comedy at the same time. So it's a romantic horror comedy movie. And it's kind of weird. When I watched it, I'm like, wow, Dave's going to hate this because it's one of those movies where they know they're in a movie kind of, or they're in like a ridiculous situation and they're well aware of it and they talk about it and they joke about it, yet they live it and they don't try to fight it whatsoever. So that kind of hurt the movie a little bit. Like it hurt my enjoyment because like you go from this crazy scene where someone's head gets like slashed right through, hole right through, there's blood pouring everywhere, everyone's screaming, and then the next minute they're just sitting like hiding from him, and then they're talking about their favorite movies and like, why would you like this kind of movie? You know, it's like, isn't it crazy that we're being chased right now? We're talking about movies. You get what I'm talking about when I talk about that kind of stuff. Like, it's weird to do that. It's off-putting when you're trying to watch a horror movie and then you go into this weird banter about movies.
I guess I don't know that. What the hell is this movie, man?
Well,
Why
basically,
did you see this? What the hell is going on?
Well, I love Friday the 13th, so I don't mind like horror movies like that. I didn't mind that, and I thought maybe it'd be kind of like Scream. Like, I don't know if you've watched like the Scream movies now, how they're kind of like a parody of themselves almost sometimes. They kind of make fun of themselves. They have like, there's like a stab movie that in the Scream movie. So it kind of felt like that, where it's almost like a movie in itself.
American romantic comedy slasher film is how it's described. Cool.
Well, it's mainly because of the director, I think, Jason Rubin, I believe. Like that's kind of his thing, that he makes movies like this. And that's how he kind of, I guess, became famous, is by making movies like this. I guess they gave him a pretty decent budget and he ran with it. Again, gore-wise, fantastic. I enjoyed it. And they had that beautiful line that Bray Wyatt has. If you remember Bray Wyatt talking about love and how love's a lie, there's a great scene about that. I'm like, wow, this is just Bray Wyatt talking all the way through. I'm like, Dave would definitely hate this movie. And I can tell by the look at your face. So overall, like for the horror, fantastic. Story-wise, all over the place, kind of ridiculous. Like the reveal too at the end of who the actual killer was, kind of crazy. And I thought maybe there could have been a bit of work there. So in the end, I would say thumbs about in the middle.
What are you giving out of 10? Thumbs in the middle is pretty weird review.
Well, I guess that'd be like a 5.5, I guess, on 10. It's in the middle.
All right. When's your next match?
So next Saturday, I'll be in Sudbury. So I'll be traveling to Sudbury. I won't be on the show next week, sadly. But I'll be defending my Northern Heritage Championship at Project X Wrestling. And there's barely any tickets left. So if you want tickets to the show, go to projectxtix.com ASAP, because tickets might be gone soon.
Project
X.
Straight up. Exit up.
And don't die like Dave is almost dying. I'll go see Rhino, and I'll tell you how it's cool to meet Rhino again. I wrestled Rhino before, so it'll be interesting if he remembers me or not. Probably not, but that would be funny too.
Well, good luck with all that, John. I'll be back tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, for the UFC 312 watch-along with Freddie and AJ. We'll be back talking some MMA stuff tomorrow night. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Shout out to all the members once again. Jason Pete, Angelo Contagonis. Who else did I see? I saw Lior. I saw CSL Lorne. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the Ringside Report Network over at join.ringsidereport.net and membership.ringsidereport.net. I'll be back tomorrow night here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.